Have you ever walked away from a conversation and thought, wait, what just happened? You felt manipulated, controlled, like your choices weren't really yours. Maybe they were too charming, too perfect, or maybe they made you feel like the crazy one. They smiled, they praised, they lied, and the worst part? They knew exactly what they were doing. This is not fiction. It happens every day, in your office, your home, your relationships. You might be surrounded by psychopaths. Based on the best-selling book by Thomas Erikson, this video uncovers the truth about manipulators, how they think, how they operate, and most importantly, how to stop them. We'll explore the psychology of control, decode the 4 personality colors they target, and teach you how to take back your power. Because once you understand how they work, they'll never control you again. Let's begin. Chapter 1. What is a psychopath? When you hear the word psychopath, what comes to mind? A cold-blooded killer? A horror movie villain? Someone locked away, far from your world? The truth is much more uncomfortable. Most psychopaths don't carry knives. They carry charm. They sit in boardrooms. They go on dates. They smile at you across the dinner table. According to Thomas Erikson, the real danger lies not in the dramatic, but in the everyday manipulators, hiding in plain sight. So what is a psychopath, really? In the clinical world, a psychopath is someone with a personality disorder marked by a lack of empathy, remorse, and guilt. They're often narcissistic, manipulative, and dangerously skilled at reading others' emotions without feeling any of their own. But Erikson isn't just talking about the 1% of society with diagnosable psychopathy. He's talking about the people who act like psychopaths. People who manipulate, deceive, and exploit because it works. In his world, psychopath is a label for anyone who treats others as tools. And here's the terrifying part. They know exactly who to target. Not the weak, not the clueless, but people who care, people who trust, people who want peace. That's what makes them dangerous. They study you. They adapt. And before you know it, you're playing their game by their rules. But here's the good news. Once you understand the game, you can start playing to win. Chapter 2. The Color Personality System. In the next chapter, we'll break down the 4 personality types and how psychopaths use your own traits against you. Chapter 2. The Color Personality System. Manipulators don't use luck. They use strategy. And their favorite weapon? Your personality. And surrounded by psychopaths, Thomas Erikson uses a color-based system, originally inspired by DISC theory, to explain human behavior. There are 4 primary types: red, yellow, green, and blue. Each one has strengths. Each one has blind spots. And psychopaths? They see them all. Let's break it down. Section: Red Personality. Reds are bold, driven, decisive, natural-born leaders. Straight to the point, but that directness comes at a cost. Psychopaths know Reds hate being out of control, so they challenge them. They provoke, they compete. They feed their ego until the red is too focused on winning to notice they're being played. Section: Yellow Personality. Yellows are the optimists, talkative, energetic, full of big ideas and bigger smiles. Their greatest strength? Charisma. Their greatest weakness? Trust. Manipulators mirror their enthusiasm, flatter them, and then use their openness to twist the truth. A yellow wants to believe the best in people until it's too late. Section: Green Personality. Greens are calm, kind, and loyal. They avoid conflict. They keep the peace. And psychopaths love that. Why? Because greens don't push back. They're manipulated through guilt, pressure, and emotional blackmail, while the psychopath smiles and says, "I'm just being honest." Section: Blue Personality. Blues are analytical, detailed perfectionists. They value facts over feelings, logic over impulse. But manipulators twist that too. They overwhelm blues with distorted data, confuse them with contradictory details, and make them question their own judgment. And when the facts don't line up, the psychopath always has a rational explanation. No type is immune, but knowledge is power. Once you recognize your color, you can start seeing how and why you're being targeted. In the next chapter, we'll dive deep into the most common tactics psychopaths use and how to recognize them before it's too late. Chapter 3. How Psychopaths Manipulate. Manipulation is an art, and psychopaths? They're master artists. They don't force. They influence. They don't demand. They suggest. And while you think you're making your own choices, they're already 5 steps ahead. So how do they do it? 1. Charm offensive. First comes the charm. They smile. They compliment. They listen. Not because they care, but because they're collecting data. What makes you light up? What makes you hesitate? What are you insecure about? Every word you say becomes a tool in their arsenal. 2. Gaslighting. Then comes confusion. You remember it one way. They swear it happened another. You're too sensitive, overreacting, crazy. That's gaslighting, a deliberate attempt to make you question your reality. The more you doubt yourself, the easier you are to control. 3. Love bombing and mirroring. Psychopaths often start strong, flooding you with attention, affection, praise. It's not love. It's bait. They mirror your personality, your values, even your dreams, so you let your guard down. And just when you feel safest, they strike. 4. Guilt traps and emotional blackmail. After everything I've done for you, you're so ungrateful. If you really loved me, you'd... These aren't just words. They're weapons. Psychopaths twist your empathy into obligation. They use your kindness against you until saying no feels like betrayal. 5. Triangulation. Ever felt like someone's turning people against you? That's triangulation. The manipulator brings in a third person, real or imaginary, to create jealousy, rivalry, or insecurity. Suddenly you're isolated, off balance, easier to manipulate. 6. Control through uncertainty. The goal is simple: keep you off balance. One day they praise you. The next they criticize you. They pull you in, then push you away. Your brain goes into survival mode. You stop asking, is this person good for me? And start asking, what did I do wrong? That's when they've got you. These tactics aren't obvious at first. That's what makes them dangerous. But when you learn to spot the patterns, you start to take back control. In the next chapter, we'll explore why we fall for manipulators in the first place and how our own psychology plays into their hands. Chapter 4. Why we fall for manipulators. You're smart, you're kind, you're self-aware, so why did you fall for it? Why didn't you see the manipulation sooner? Why do millions of people get pulled into toxic relationships, gaslighting jobs, or one-sided friendships without realizing it until they're in too deep? The answer is not weakness. It's not stupidity. It's human nature. Psychopaths don't prey on fools. They prey on the empathetic, the ones who give second chances, the ones who want peace, the ones who say yes when they mean maybe, just to avoid hurting someone's feelings. The triggers they use. 1. The need for approval. We all want to be liked, to be seen. Manipulators feed that need. They praise you, flatter you, then withdraw it. You chase that validation, hoping to earn it back. That's how they control you, without ever raising their voice. 2. Fear of conflict. I didn't want to start a fight. It wasn't worth it. Sound familiar? Psychopaths know that conflict-avoidant people, especially green types, will stay silent even when something feels wrong. Silence becomes permission. 3. The urge to fix or help. Some of us have a rescuer instinct. We want to help the broken, heal the hurt, love the unlovable. And manipulators? They play broken. They tell you just enough of a sad story to get you hooked, and just enough drama to keep you trying to fix them. But they don't want help. They want control. Why smart people still fall for it? The smarter you are, the better you are at rationalizing. You explain the red flags away. You say things like, they didn't mean it, or maybe I'm overthinking. You give them the benefit of the doubt again and again, while they rewrite your reality behind the scenes. And here's the kicker. They count on that. Manipulators know your strengths, and they twist them until they become weaknesses. But once you understand your triggers, you become harder to control. You stop reacting on autopilot. You stop apologizing for things you didn't do. And you start asking the one question they can't stand. Why am I really doing this? Coming up next, the tools to protect yourself. We'll cover how to build boundaries, spot red flags, and shut down manipulation before it even begins. Chapter 5. Protecting yourself from manipulators. Knowing the game is one thing. Learning how to win it? That's everything. You can't always avoid manipulators, but you can protect yourself. Here's how. 1. Know your personality color. First, know yourself. Are you red, driven and direct? Yellow, outgoing and expressive? Green, peaceful and kind? Or blue, precise and analytical? When you understand your color, you recognize your blind spots. And when you know your blind spots, they stop being entry points. 2. Set clear boundaries and stick to them. Manipulators test limits slowly. A small lie, a guilt trip, a disrespectful joke. If you let it slide once, it becomes a habit. You need to set clear lines. Don't speak to me that way. That's not okay with me. No. And here's the key. No explanation needed. 3. Trust your gut. If it feels off, it probably is. That uneasy feeling you ignore, that's your intuition. Psychopaths want you to doubt yourself. So when your instincts whisper something's wrong, listen louder. 4. Stay grounded in facts, not feelings. Emotions are their playground. They'll trigger guilt, shame, even love, just to steer you. Write things down. Keep receipts. Track what was said and done. Because facts don't lie, and facts will save you when feelings start to cloud the truth. 5. Never argue with a manipulator. You can't win a battle where they control the rules. They'll twist your words, deny the obvious, and turn the conversation back on you. Your best move? Don't play. Stay calm, stay clear, disengage. Silence is often your strongest defense. 6. Build a support system. Manipulators isolate you for a reason, so reconnect. Talk to someone you trust. Sometimes all it takes is one outside perspective to break the spell. You are not alone, and you are not powerless. Protecting yourself isn't about paranoia. It's about boundaries, awareness, strength. You may not control who comes into your life, but you do control how long they stay. In the next and final chapter, we'll wrap it all together and talk about how to reclaim your peace, power, and personal freedom in a world where manipulation is everywhere. Chapter 6. Final Insights in Reclaiming Your Power. You've seen the tactics. You've faced the truth. And maybe for the first time, you see the patterns for what they really are. Not accidents, not misunderstandings, manipulation. You've been gaslit, guilt-tripped, played. But here's what matters most. You're still here. And now, you're not playing defense anymore. You have the power now. Power isn't about control. It's about clarity. The clarity to know who you are, what you value, and what you will and will not accept. Psychopaths rely on confusion. Your job now is to be unshakable. You don't need to fight to win. You don't need to outsmart them. You don't need to confront them. Most times, the strongest move you can make is walking away, quietly, firmly, completely. Because when you stop giving them your attention, you take back your energy, and your energy is your power. A world full of manipulators, but also allies. Yes, there are psychopaths out there, people who use and deceive and destroy. But there are also protectors, listeners, truth-tellers. When you know what to look for, you'll stop wasting time on the ones who drain you, and start investing in the ones who see you, really see you, and respect your boundaries without needing to be told twice. Closing message. Surrounded by Psychopaths isn't a book about fear. It's a book about freedom. The freedom to live with confidence, clarity, and calm, no matter who tries to pull your strings. You don't need permission. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be aware. Because once you see the game, you can choose never to play it again.